Hey everyone, it's me Lauren from Color the Kitty, and I've now totally gotten distracted. I decided to look at my email and I'm like, oh wait, what's this email? And I'm like, this is not the time to go reading things, but that's okay. I'm just doing a quick scroll through in case there's any relevance. Bear with me a moment. Why am I reading this? Okay, this has been quite a thrilling start to the video. Alright, let's actually get started here. Okay. Alright. Note to self, attention span of a squirrel, especially this time of night. I'm back from walking the pup. Earlier this evening, I did my video for Stampin' Up. Now it's time for Color the Kitty. Now, just to give a little context, I usually do this over on my page, Color the Kitty on Facebook and such, and this later get posted to YouTube, but me kind of accidentally killed my Color the Kitty page, so I'm going to do it here for the next interim until I can figure out what the heck I'm doing. And here is my project. I started this a while ago, and it's coming along quite nicely. Look how cool this is. And this is a color by numbers, and yes, some of the colors have changed. Like this color is actually way darker than I intended. And on the side, here's my color code. Now, I haven't worked on this in a couple weeks. I've got a bag of pencils for everything I need, and more, apparently. So I'm just going to pull a whole bunch of pencils and sort out what do I need in this. Because I like to have the pencils laid out beside me in order, so I know when I go to reach for a color, I know what sequence it's in. Because especially when you're working on a project pretty lately, you get to know what the colors are and what you're doing and such. So that's where I'm just going to pull it all out. I got these bags. Some people may have seen me use these bags for card classes, and I'm like, these are great for just, what's my project pencils? There we go. Okay. So, let's go over the color code together. First things first, let me separate my sharpeners. I've got a sharpener. I've got a sharpener. I have some blenders. And that's what these are. These are kind of like colorless blenders as a blending stump. As you can see, this one I've been using on a different project, which I'll show at a different time. But I haven't looked at this in a few weeks, so I'm like, I really want to look at it. So I even keep these in order of size. Why I have different sizes is... Hold on. Let me bring it back. The details. So I found with this project, I kept using this one. But occasionally I would use the other one, say for a larger area, versus a very small section. So for me, it helps to have selections of these. Alright, what else do I got here? I've got some pencil extenders, and that's what these are. Different styles. This one, I don't even know what, it's a double-sided, and it's different sizes. I actually kind of like this one. And I've got these two. This one's actually from Derwent. This one seems to do larger size pencils, I found. And then this one's more like a normal black. This one's like the normal size for pencils. Hey Dan, thanks for watching. So I've got my extenders out. I've got a white pencil, which I use for blending sometimes. The white tonight, how dare me, it's a premium pencil. It's the Faber-Castell, the gold Faber level, so they're medium level. And actually, because I was pricing these out, some art stores, or most do, would sell pencils individually. So for example, I've got, it's not a white, but roll with me here. I could buy Artist Loft Michaels pencils, and I can buy these in the same store. Say they're both white. The difference in the two pencil was like 30 cents difference, and I'm like, eh. Between the quality difference, I'll just go with the nicer one. So I've got that as a blender if I need it. Alright, so let me actually put the color code together. First things first, one is purple. Purple I had for this project is Crayola Orchid. Second color is a dark blue. And I had recently changed it, hence the difference way down here. So my latest version of dark blue, I believe, is Artist's Loft dark blue. Well, that's kind of obvious. My moderate blue, medium blue, is a Staedtler. I call this Peacock Triangular because it's a triangular pencil. This is like an indigo color, so I figure I'll go with it with this project. Number 4 is this one, Kids Made Modern, the sky color. I also had this Mindware pencil, but I don't quite need it right now because I have a weird way of selecting pencils. So currently it is the sky pencil from Kids Made Modern. I have, now next is number 5 is this pencil, which you can't really tell what color it is, but it's like a dark-ish icky green kind of thing. And good question, what brand is that? I'll tell you in a moment, because I don't know what color it is, like, so it's kind of hard to describe. Bear with me, because I have stuff totally scattered around the house here, and I had it in a bag, and I'm just gonna get the packaging out. I know I have purchased it in Walmart, I know that. I just saw it. Okay, it's actually from this set, Color Collection by Conte, which is made by Bic. And this color, which does not tell me what color it is, but it is a kind of like an icky dark green. So probably, I don't know, but there, that's what that one is. Hey Debbie, I do 2 videos every Thursday, except my second one was over on my Colored Kitty page, but when I accidentally killed the page, I figure I'll just do it over here. If you ever want to catch the replays, there's always YouTube, actually. I put them up on YouTube each week. Alright, now that I'm fighting to put a bag away. So that's this color, this dark green. Next is number 6. Number 6 is this color. And you can tell there's not much of a pencil left. It is Pentel number 365. It has no name, but it's almost depleted, hence why I've got some extra greens out. My next green is number 7, a lighter green, another Pentel 370, almost depleted. So in that case, because I'm almost depleting pencils, I have these alternates selected for when I need them. More Kids Made Modern. That one's the Fiscus. We've got the other Kids Made Modern Lime. We have Mindware for the light green. We've got this one is, it'll come to me. It's a Staedtler. It's a triangular, but it's like an Ergosoft. It's a different type, and it's number 5, whatever that means. And then for, I think, replacing that dark green I had is an Artist's Loft dark green as my backups. Okay, so I've got those. Okay, next is yellow. And I got 2 yellows. Again, I had swapped over to the Kids Made Modern Lemon. My backup is the Mindware. Next is orange. My current orange is Pentel 315. And then my red is Pentel 304. Then lastly, this brown. I went with like more like a tan rose art kind of color. And don't worry, I'm not going to be doing the entire project tonight because that'll just take hours. But I'll just do a little bit. But I figured I'd show you what pencils I'm using. And yeah, so how I select my pencils is it's a weird kind of system where all these ones, actually most of these, are from incomplete sets unless I really, really need a color. Hence, this color and this color. So that's kind of how I select my pencils in a weird OCD kind of way, I guess. Alright, so I'm just going literally across, completing the sections. So next one on my list was 11. 11 is this tan brown color. And generally when I start, I give it a quick sharpen. This sharpener is Prismacolor. I've had it for a few years, and I change out the blades. The blades I can get from another store, and they're actually easy to change out once I know what I'm doing. And so, here we go. So, there's only one, I guess they're hexagons, shape here that is this color. So I'm just gonna move it around my table here, shade it in, bring in some lighting because my lighting's kind of crappy, and I have a camera in the way. So I've kind of lightly shaded. I'm gonna give it a border, and I'll be honest, this looks good on camera, but for me in person, I have not been happy with this picture. And I am actually considering, when I'm done, take pictures of as it is, and then completely change it after that. So what I've done is, I kind of went around the edges, darken, and the center is lighter. Then what I do is I take my blender and just kind of soften it a bit. Now, why I've been going through these really fast, and this one's actually broken, is last time I used it, there's an orange on here. I do not want to transfer, whoops, as I knock everything off the table. I don't want to transfer the orange onto there, because that will happen with some of these colors. It'll kind of, that's great if I want to blend that way, but in this case I don't. So what I do is, I gotta clean that edge. Now these paper stumps, you cannot sharpen these with a regular sharpener. It's just not possible. So I've got this sandpaper, and this is what I do. Now, if I do it here, I'm going to make a mess. So I'm going to move that back a bit. Here's my fancy garbage can, which needs to be emptied, which is just a coffee canister, originally. I'll show you what I do. And that's pretty much it. Make sure I got the color gone, and I'm good to use it. And I just kind of tap it to get the gunk off of that, because that stuff is white, but it gets everywhere. So then after that, I just go in here. That's why the different sizes kind of helps. And if I go out of the lines, you'll actually see. I know it's kind of hard to tell on here, but it did make a mark, so I have to try to stay within the lines. Hence why the sizing is important. So there we go. Let's figure have a quick drink. Okay. We'll complete that row at least. The next one on here is 9. 9 is orange. And I've actually changed oranges a couple times throughout this. I find with these, I tend to be pretty lazy with trying to match the color exact. Once I start with one, it's like I just kind of work with it. The dark blue, I've changed, oh god, how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I think. Alright, so same steps as earlier, just kind of shade it in. I thought of mid-project changing how I color, but I'm like, no, I want a version of this to look as I originally intended. I just broke the tip in that pencil, but that's okay. And just darkening the edges, lighten up to the center, and again, I gotta shave that blending stump. Or if I'm really careful, I can use a different side of it, which this time I will. There we go. And I find it softens the coloring a bit, which was the idea, except, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about it. Alright, I got that row done. Let's just do one more row, and then we'll definitely call it a day. Also depends on how much time. Now here's a larger section. The number 4 is the light blue, the sky color. Even though this is a turtle in the water. Fudge. Rely on me to make a mess. I did not have that sharpener in place properly. And it's broken. Because I've had it for like 4 or 5 years now. And I've been too kitty-esque to replace it. And I actually have a replacement, but I'm so attached to that sharpener. Whoops. I'm pulling everything off the table. Okay. And of course my watch keeps wanting to show me stuff on Facebook. Oh, I am on Facebook right now. Show me! Alright, so this is a larger section of the blue, because I'm looking at all these 4. So what I do is I outline it first, so I know, hopefully, where I'm going. And I may have to sharpen it a bunch of times. Yep. So I find once it kind of does that initial break, it's a bit of a pain to use. So it helps to have some decent sharpeners. much more control when the pencils. Oh, this goes on for a while. Okay. We might end this video after this section, but at least you can see we did a couple small areas, and now we're on to a larger for the underwater. And ironically, I actually have a second copy of this coloring book because someone gave it to me for Christmas way back in the day. So that I do have. If I ever wanted to actually completely repeat this picture, I still can. The coloring book, it's around here somewhere, is like Color Quest, I think is the name of it. Where all the pictures are like this. They're all like a puzzle of color by numbers. And I'm still outlining this honeycomb-ish feel. My lighting is bugging me tonight. It could just be me. Actually, I think I have my right lamp a little more over, but the camera's in the way. I could move it, but then it's gonna darken my right side. Let me try that. I just had to flop it over. Actually, it's a lot better. That's another thing, is lighting is key when it comes to this. I mean, for you, because I move my lamps, it looks actually worse on screen. But for me, I can see a heck of a lot better in a concentrated area. Alright, so I've done my outline. That's the whole section. That's going to be this light blue. So then I'm just going to shade it in lightly. Ideally, back and forth is actually not helpful because it kind of creates some unnecessary lines, even though technically that is exactly what I'm doing right now. Ideally, a circular motion is a softer look, but I'm not too worried. I feel like the pencil's loose, or the lead breaks inside, could be. And as you can tell, okay, I can tell for me, but it's hard to tell on screen. I'm not holding like this. I'm holding a little back a bit, and it creates more of a level, like say level versus up. I know my hands there would look quite distracting. So it's more side versus trying to write. There we go. That looks a little more obvious. And by doing that, it actually makes some difference with shading. And it's not so harsh. Because I learned last year or so more about paper on... There's so many different types of paper for the toothiness, and which that sounds bizarre. But how much it can handle layers and layers of pigment. So some paper takes it better than others, but at some point eventually you hit that level of it can't take any more kind of thing. And I find with this, see, how you can tell it could take more color kind of thing. And also the effect is I can see white through like the greeny of the coloring, which to me, I feel like I could have done more with this paper. So sometimes coloring styles can depend on the paper that you're using. Where this was, it's not a smooth paper, but I can feel not much grit, but it's just paper. And it's decent, it's like cardstock thickness, but just for some reason, my coloring technique doesn't agree with me tonight. Alright, so I'm going to now I got that shade in lightly, I'm going to sharpen this. And then, as earlier, go around the edges. The exception is the border. I'm not going to do that so much. So I'm just going to start darker, and then lighter towards the center. Where this would have been cool if I only did this on one side versus all the other sides. The ombre effect, that would have been actually, because that occurred to me early on. I'm like, oh damn, that would have looked really good. But at the time, I wasn't quite sure what this picture was going to look like. Hindsight, looking back, I still could have done that. But that's too bad. Again, I could always go back and do a new one. But I think at that point, I'll just do a different project. Alright, but as you can see, it has that more cooler effect. Maybe you can't tell with the light blue, but it is there. And yeah, that light blue is different than that light blue, because man, I'm not consistent for colors. Sometimes I think it's going to make the project look really cool, and then it's like, it doesn't look that cool when you can see the color shift throughout. The color shift can work if it's done effectively, but this is more just play for me. So this time around, I don't know if you can tell, I'm actually holding the pencil a little more up versus down, because I want a little more strength on my shading. And I'm going to sharpen that again. Now you can kind of see it's starting to come along. Alright, where am I here? And as you can imagine, even just me doing these layers as it is of one color, this picture has taken me a long time. I think in June, I had a good round of coloring it, because I just kind of mentally took a break from doing some other things and was just coloring for a couple weeks. Eventually I was like, yeah, I gotta get some stuff done. And even pencils and papers, not all pencils are going to agree to the same paper. That's another thing too. And that's something, even using a project of different brands, definitely can see the difference in the quality and such. Ideally, it's not good to mix brands, because it kind of changes the effect, the look of it. But I do it just for sheer, it's kind of me. Gives me a chance to see how they interact if I am mixing and blending. And actually, I'm noticing with this pencil, it's got a rough spot in its lead, and it's actually given me some unnecessary lineage, so I'm going to give this a sharpen. Again, the downside of, unfortunately, cheaper pencils. I got these Kits Made Modern pack from Chapters Indigo. So they're great for kids. Just for this, not the best of choices. And actually, all these have weird names on these ones. I've got the list here on the table somewhere. But it's currently buried. And yes, I actually have a binder with a list of all my packs of pencils and what colors they are. Is the binder down here? Yes, it is. It's a bit of a geeky thing, but it helps when I'm looking for a specific color. And if I remember, I'll show at the end of this section. Actually, no. I will totally forget to show it, so I'm going to show it now. Because I was using the binder recently to pick out some colors. Now, this is my binder. I forget where I got it from. I think I stole it from somewhere. Bear with me a moment. It's just my problem is my scrap paper concept might actually have my own personal confidential information, because it's my own binder. Let me open it up. Let me find a section I can use where it's not so bad. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, I got a decent section here. Alright. So, I actually had a list, but the list is not relevant right now. Although I can show you. I had a list of all these pencils in order, and now that we're here, update. I have no idea what fine line is. Huh, go figure. I don't think I have these anymore. I've got those still in play. These no more. So, oops. I do have information. That's from my old job interview. Okay, Crayola is gone. Kids Made Modern. Yeah, I'm getting all distracted. Alright. Alright, good enough. So, this was scrap paper because I was coloring something else. But, for example, each time I get a pack, I do like a swatch thing so I can see what they are. Here's another pack. Same thing. Another pack. Same thing. Another pack. See what I mean? Scrap paper. Same thing. Another pack. Same thing. So this helps considerably with trying to find colors. So for example, I don't have a good example, but I can pull the sheet when I do pull it. And as I'm going through, I can kind of see along here what colors I'm looking for. So that's just my own personal thing, but that is my binder. Plus I have a whole bunch of color by number stuff. Here, I can show old lists from old books. I'll just check and see if I got any not for public eyes only. Yeah, I do got not for public eyes only on here. What the heck is this? Oh, it's an Amazon receipt, I think. Yeah, I think so. I know I'm chaotic. So there, my old binder for coloring. Okay. Let's get back to this and let us get on with the night. Oh wow, I'm almost at a half hour. Yes, attention span of a squirrel. I get easily distracted when I'm doing my videos. But as you can see, all I've done tonight is fine. I was talking, I'm enjoying the night. I've done 2 small sections and I'm still working on this. So now you can understand how long it takes to do one of these projects. So, and I know I put my hand in the way half the time. Of course now my lighting is too much, but that's okay. And actually normally I use an easel doing this. I've been meaning to put the easel on camera just to see how it looks, and I think I might grab it tonight for giggles. Okay, I did one side, now I gotta do the other side. But as you can see, if I left it at that, that has a cool ombre look. But no, I had to start it by doing all sides, so hence the problem with the coloring. Alright, let's finish it up. And then I'll grab that easel just to see how it looks on camera. If it looks good to color, or if it's just... Oh, the pencil's broken, I can feel it. So, what do you mean by broken pencil? The lead is not intact to the rest of the lead. Usually you can tell by feel. Usually you can kind of coloring it, you get less control. And then... I don't know if it'll show me. You can tell by feel. You can wiggle it. And I know you can't see on camera. But another way to tell is, it's actually, if it's getting bent or something, if you just grab the tip, ta-da. It was broken. Alright, so I'm going to sharpen it. And I'm going to use my other sharpener, because my Prismacolor sharpener is a little too fragile for this. Okay, make sure I don't have my name in there. Or address or something. So let's take this little Staedtler sharpener and do this. Which I know on camera looks a little vague, because I'm way too close to the camera. I almost call this grinding, because I gotta bring it back to a pointy point again. I got mostly there, so I'll just do the rest over here. That way we're not staring at my awkward hands. Almost got it. This sharpener is actually need to be replaced. These ones, I actually get these sharpeners from the series. I think they're roughly $2 a piece or something. And I buy like a box of them, usually. Okay, so that feels a lot better. Alright, so just working it in. I'm going to have to soften that a little bit. That way it looks a little more with it. And I just did a little too much there. Alright, keep going. So I have two easels. One is like a real painting desktop. Actually, I got three. Yeah, three. My standalone is upstairs. We don't use it as much, but it is there, and it's a nice one. So let me correct myself. So I have three. Two of them are obviously more for painting, and I've used them for coloring. What I do is I get a magnetic board to put on it, to be able to put the project on it. And that's been pretty effective. Because actually, it's more comfortable for the body to not be coloring like this, to be more upright and facing a board. So, actually, for me doing these videos, it's kind of counterintuitive. And it's actually a much better coloring experience to use an easel. And painting and artistry. Stamping, not so much, ironically. Go figure. Although I haven't tried it, but I could try it. Okay, I still am on camera. Okay. Alright, I'm finally done working that section. So then I'm just going to put my pencil back in my pile. And then what I do is, I'll go with the not medium, the second up blender. But I got to clean it, because it's got a green on there. And I don't want to add green to a very light blue. There, I think I got it. Knock, knock. I was trying to do it too loudly because it is nighttime. Almost. Alright, so I've got this piece. These you can get from art stores, Amazon, wherever. I don't really know what brands these are. I think some of these are Michaels, some of these are Amazon, a couple of these are actually Faber-Castell, depending on where my selection is. Of course, attention span of a squirrel. Here is the rest of my collection, which is still in perfect condition of these blenders. So I've got lots of sizes. So at one point I had this great idea, use one per pencil. Yeah, but they're all not the same size. And then the idea just kind of fizzed out on me when I didn't know how to sharpen these at the time. So doing this, I'm just giving it a firm pressure once over. This is burnishing actually, and I love burnishing. It's like my go-to. And by doing this, it's harder to lay new color on top. So it's almost like a top layer for colored pencils, a top technique. And actually doing this will soften some of my lines a little. It is more effective depending on which pencils you're using. Actually, it is, you can really see it with this pencil, those colors, but it just kind of softens the colors, especially if you're blending of different colors. So there we go. There is burnishing. Alright, so then let's pull the easel since I keep talking about it. Assuming it's easy reach. Is it? Yes, it is. For the most part, until I hopefully not pull down the table. Okay. So I've got this big box. I'm trying to think how to show. It's pretty big. Like this box here. And it's got shelves in it too. Let me show the shelves. Carefully, of course, because I don't want to take up my desk. So this might not work effectively the way I want to do. So, oh my god. So it's got, oh, I'm upside down. Even better. Upside down. Oh, welcome to non-sober kitty night. Okay. Alright, we'll do this differently. So as you can see, there's some sleeves. I can store pencils and stuff. There's two sleeves on this side. And there's more of that fun stuff. And I think there was blenders in here too. No, I think I grabbed them. Anyway, this is the third drawer as an example. So there we go. Oh, my dog is staring at me. He's so cute. Okay. So then this section opens up. I'm going to do it off camera because you're really not going to be able to see it because I'm actually going to bump the camera accidentally doing it. So I want to see if I can get this in place. Alright, there we go. So what you can kind of see on the side, whoa, there's like a upside down triangle thing kind of happening. That's the easel. So this is a great travel easel. So here we go. We're looking at the slope. So that is really close to the top. You can really see my hand there. Wow. Alright, so I just want to see what this looks like. This might be really... Ooh. Okay, so too much of a slope, potentially. And for those of you who are watching, I'll do one more section. I'll really try to keep it in view. Just to see a comparison on, fine, it's an awkward slope, but does it help with any more visibility, or is it just kind of like, eh? Now the downside with this is my paper will keep falling down, so that's going to happen. Alright, my color number 5 is actually that dark green, so I'm going to sharpen it as needed to. Because it's a short pencil, I use the metal sharpener. It's a little easier to grip. Because I've been meaning for like a month or two to do a live where I've got the easel out just to see the difference. If this didn't have so much of a base on it, it would work. So because it's a short pencil, I'm going to put this extender with it. Yeah, I keep being not on camera. And this actually helps hold the pencil. Alright. Okay, attention span of a squirrel. My nail is broken. Alright, so then I'm just going to turn around so ease of me. So the number 5 is these two spots. Let's see here. Oh, this is actually much more comfortable. So again, outline. Oh wow, that visibility is great. It's angled, but that is cool. I'm just looking at my laptop screen. I'm like, wow. I might have to color like this more often. Alright, so there's the shading. And then, or the light part of shade. And then just kind of darken each edge to a gradient center being lighter. And I gotta be careful because I might actually hit the camera with my pencil here. This must look trippy out. Wow, this is kind of neat. Okay, I'm just gonna turn it for ease of my hands. Wow, you can actually, but now you can really see the details. Now you can see how all these spots don't look fully colored in. See, that's what I'm facing with this picture. It just doesn't look right for me. Here, I'll come centered. So that's where I am intending to try something really neat when this is done. Hopefully I'll be able to share with you what that is. Alright, so we've got that colored in. I'll just leave that sitting there. I'm just gonna prep my blender again. Got to prep it again. Yeah, each time I swap a color, I gotta prep it. So this has been a very lengthy project. And this has been a much longer video than I intended. Well, having fun. Alright, so I've got my blender. I've cleaned the tip much as I can quickly. Oh, I just moved it out of view. And then I'm just gonna go in here. And then just kind of soften that shading. Because ideally, with white pencils, this really helps cover the white, the white on the paper. But using these blenders, not so much. So you can see I got color on here. And see how I can transfer it? So I have to be careful with where I'm coloring sometimes. So that actually turned out quite nicely. So there we go. Alrighty. So I am definitely going to call it a night. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear some feedback for version of color. I'm just going to bring my lamps a little different in. If you feel this is effective, or being on the table, like the regular part of the table. And yes, my picture keeps falling down. So this is the turtle. Turtles. Alright, well, there we go. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next week. And I can't even close this easel on camera. It's that big. And I got stuff behind it, so I can't pull it back. Alright. Well, I'll be back next week for something with Color the Kitty. Not sure where I'll be posting it on the Facebook side, because I'm still fighting with Facebook with my Color the Kitty page. Otherwise, everybody, have a great night. Bye for now. Whoops, wrong button, as usual.